Hey, what's up, photographers? This is John. We got Matt here.
How's it going?
Matt's our in-house professional photographer.
Oh, that's a stretch, but I'll take the compliment.
All right, and today we have another great video for you where Matt's going to talk about spring programs, specifically
it's that time of
proofs and proofing.
Absolutely. It's that time of year. Got 3 hot tips. I know you're a countdown guy, so I made sure to make 3.
Yes.
And I know you like a rant, so I'm going to throw one at the end as well.
Perfect. Well, this is my favorite video already. Okay.
Let's get started. We want to talk about the spring program. You're gearing up for the season. It's you're going to be shooting, probably shooting proofs. A lot of people do that. Number 1, you want to create separation. What do I mean by separation? You want a memorable program that differentiates itself from your fall program.
Okay.
You don't want to, you may be tempted to just run it back with the, green screen, just swap out the backgrounds, but end up doing the same pose.
Okay.
You're not going to get very far. You're not going to give the parent may look at it and be like, I don't need to buy this picture. Like, you want to give them a reason. You want them to be sucked in, like, oh man, that's great.
Okay.
And I give them a reason to purchase that. And
so with fall, we're going to have more of the traditional
Yep,
type
you're doing the
of
yearbook pose, nice portrait shot.
Okay, and in spring we get a little more fun, a little more creative.
Yeah, but into that point, my second bullet point is to keep it simple.
Okay.
I think you'll see some programs out there that get really crazy with foregrounds, backgrounds, you got all these props.
Yeah.
It's awkward for the kids. You still want to make it easy for the kids, because at the end of the day, if you go back and reference some of our old videos, what's it about? It's about that smile. It's about the subject.
Right.
You want it to be focused on the kids. So I recommend high key white with a little simple prop is always a great seller. The student sells the picture. It's not the props, it's not the background colors, it's not all the options. At the end of the day, it is that student.
And I think the photographer means really well when they try to do all that.
Oh, absolutely.
Doing too much, and then the parents, some of them may want that, so it seems like, I have to do this. But at the end of the day, again, it's that smile, it's the quality of the pictures as well that you're taking, and it's the content over anything, which is the child.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing this type of white background,
the high key
stuff, I think that looks great. I mean,
we do, absolutely.
We have a couple of booklets that are
our resident expert, Marion Hughes, we've talked about him in other videos. He's put together these great manuals on how to shoot it, how to set it up, all the dimensions you need, all the equipment you need. It's a little bit of a shameless plug, but
this gives you guys context. It gives you a reference of what we're talking about too, if you're not familiar.
We'll put links in the bottom of that for sure.
Yeah. But going on to your point, so yeah, I mean, just keeping it simple. I mean, look how clean and simple that is. And I mean,
right, and it really pops. If you get into spring programs, the kids are wearing, winter's over, they're wearing bright clothes. They just pop out from that high key white.
Yeah.
You encourage them with your promotions to wear bright, solid colors. It just they shine.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So now so far with the spring programs, we're going to try not to repeat what we did in the fall. That was the first tip. The second tip is just keeping it simple, not overdoing it with the props, not overdoing it with the posing. Keep it very simple.
Yep.
And that makes it easier for parents to place orders as well. Because when you're overwhelmed with too many choices, and we've talked about that before as well, and order form problems. We have a lot of videos to pop up here on the references. Right? We have Marion videos that you could reference. We have Matt's videos that you could reference about order forms, about the best practices for those. So those are the first 2 points about spring programs. Let's hear the third.
The third one is you've got a simple, clean background setup that you can roll out. It makes it easy. Once that's done, gives you time, if you're not doing anything complicated with props, to double up your options.
Double up your options.
Take at least 2 unique pictures of the kid.
Okay.
So if you're thinking about doing the Marion's program, you've got that full body. Mm-hmm. We'll zoom in and take a tight shot as well.
Okay, so you're keeping the kid basically in the same position, but you're just changing. You're the one who's making some changes.
You're doing the work, and just a little bit of work. You just need to zoom, tilt the camera, zoom in.
That's great. That's
and now you've got 2 unique shots. So if the parent is, if you don't give the parent the option, they may be like, oh, both these pictures are great. I need both.
Yeah.
Now you're giving yourself an option from a monetary standpoint to generate a second package sale, or at least another add-on, right? If you don't take that picture, you never have the chance.
I think that's great.
And we found in practice in my previous life we got a lot of bandwidth out of that. You giving them those choices, like, oh, I have this full body, I've got a tight a headshot, or more of a natural portrait shot. If they're like, oh, they're so good.
Yeah. I think that's great. The the full body shot's also great because you think about it, the parents most of the time are going to be dressing their kid up real nice, and you're not seeing any of that with the tight headshot. So they get an opportunity to actually show something. Like,
I hadn't even thought about that. That's actually because you're a parent, so
that's right.
That's
why
I
this
haven't
morning.
thought about
Yeah,
it.
like just when we get my daughter dressed for school. Even like today was her birthday celebration, and it's like she wanted to wear something. And this is my daughter, who's 4.5 years old. Said, "Daddy, I want to wear something fabulous." I'm like, "Where do you know that word? First of all." And you can even like their shoes are like unique, like cool and shiny and sparkly now.
Right. If they
So
to that point, this brings back memories now. You know, they may have a new pair of shoes on from Christmas
well, that's good.
that are great.
Yeah.
And the kid loves it.
And show them
and
off.
So you get the full body. But then you may have the kid who has ran their shoes through the mud already, right? And the parent doesn't want to see that in the picture. Now they've got a tight shot.
Both options.
Yeah. Then they're like, oh, okay, well, throw out the shoes that they've ruined in 2 weeks in the playground. And now I've got a tight shot that looks great. They got a great smile. You fix their hair.
So doubling it up just gives the parents more options depending on what they're about. How maybe they took the time to dress their kid, maybe they forgot and didn't. So the tight shot's probably better in that case. And the kids have much more interesting clothes now, I think, than when we were little kids. Yeah. For the most part. Oh, yeah. Now you have these cool Skechers shoes with the kids, but I had like kangaroos. Remember the kangaroos?
Kangaroos, pocket shoes, kangaroos.
I had LA Gear.
LA Gear, oh man.
Yeah.
LA Lights by LA Gear. The shoes to be seen in.
You definitely cut those out.
I
did it the first pair of. I had the first
BK
pair.
Knights?
BK Knights and
Very cool. Very BK.
LA Gear, what?
Look, that was
They
cool in Texas.
gotta show what those look like. So now I'm gonna clip those in.
You had the lights in the LA Gear heels.
Really?
Yeah, that was all the rage. I'm a few years younger than you, but
true. But I had the first pair of Michael Jordans. So getting those in my full shot as a kid, I forgot I even had them. So that was really cool to see. So
I never
still had them.
My parents wouldn't buy me Jordans. I did have Barclays though.
Barclays.
Yeah, I had Barclays.
He's not a role model.
I am not a role model.
No, but they were cool shoes.
Okay, so back to the actual content of this video.
Let's.
All right, so recapping again. Now we have create separation, keeping it simple, and doubling up.
Those are easy to remember.
I mean, that's fantastic.
Separation, simple, double up.
Another power-packed video
Boom,
tips.
boom, boom.
More power-packed video tips from that.
Can I rant now?
We have a rant?
Let's rant.
Okay.
If you're in this space, you do volume photography, you probably know about spec selling. Do not
I'm going to step aside while you rant.
think you have to do spec selling because some of the giants in the room are doing it. You can sell against it. And here's the reasons why I don't think you should be doing it. And it's all emotion-based, because you can't make money with spec selling. I don't discount that, and this is why they still do it. But from a small business perspective, you can sell against it because you can say these things. Spec selling puts the burden on you, the school. Your teachers now have to play good cop.
Yeah.
They
turn into sales reps.
They're trying to, especially kindergartens, first graders are trying to teach fairness. And this kid brought their package back, but another kid's parents didn't send the package back and didn't send money in.
Okay.
So now they're having to pay their tax collector and keeping tabs on everything.
Yeah.
You're putting the burden also on the parent because you're sending home this full package, usually with something the kid can take apart on the way home, on the bus home.
Yeah.
So now the parent feels obligated to buy it because the kid's already started cutting the pictures up or popping out all the little doodads from like a fun pack or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So that's actually how we sold against it.
Plus, no parent wants to throw pictures of their kid, know that they don't think about that they're sending them back or throwing them out. What's going to happen to those pictures?
It's just
that too.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel
right. A lot
right
of pros, but it sounds like there's way more cons. In the long run. Plus, I think people feel more pressure to buy more, and then again, like you said, you're getting the teachers involved as more of like these debt collector / sales reps, and they don't want to do that. They don't have time to do that.
So that's my rant on spec. When we're talking about spring programs, I'll
That's
be
speculation
a
selling,
I'll
by
be
the way,
proof shooter till the end. You can make money doing spec, but you won't feel good at the end of the day.
You know what's funny about spec too, at least from the lab perspective, is we love a spec customer, obviously.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
again, and we're making videos that says don't do the spec, so that just goes to show. It's it's at the end of the day, it's your integrity and
It's an integrity thing for me.
I mean,
for sure.
for the lab can print the entire. I always wondered. I was like, wow, you want us to print the entire? Like everyone prints that? I mean, that's the easiest thing for the
4 or
lab.
5 unit package.
Well, do people sell things like to try to get more sales as far as a percentage of sales? Like that's one of the challenges. Is like I always hear people say, well, we get 20% of the kids order, 80% depending on your region.
Yep.
Well, what if you had a program, and maybe they already do, where you can do a spec sell, but everyone buys, and you've kind of pre-designed that so it's a value buy, but you're getting 100% participation.
You can do wholesale.
Wholesale.
Wholesale does work. In my experience, it works in the more affluent schools.
Okay.
Private schools are good if you do. Well, let's pivot. Let's talk about wholesale.
Pivot.
Pivot.
Well, we can put that in again.
But wholesale works great with some leagues. There's a fee included in the league.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a little. So then you do a package for everybody, or
Private school.
private schools work where it's included in there.
Yeah,
Some
that's good.
school dances and things like that. A lot of places in the U.S. are struggling with school dance revenue because everybody's got a cell phone.
Yeah.
But if you I've listened to someone pitch the idea of tying it in to the ticket sales
That's a
for
good
the
idea.
school. So he's like, hey, I'll be happy to show up, photograph, provide you services, but for me, if I'm asking that you add $5 into the ticket sales.
Yep.
We'll take a picture of everybody that
Everyone
shows up.
gets an 8x10
Everybody,
or
everybody gets a
5x7 or
package.
whatever,
Every
yeah.
couple or individual
Or two
person.
each, right.
That comes up, takes a picture. We'll print 2 5x7s or whatever.
Yeah.
And that way we have enough revenue to offset and provide services back.
I
to the
like
school.
that if you can find that niche or that situation where you can do that and you know what your profit's going to be too. Like you're not. I think one of the problems is going into these kind of things, especially a new photographer, is you have to get all this stuff together. You have to get order forms and maybe help and other photographers and all these things. You get overhead costs that you have to deal with.
Yep.
But at least if you know that you're selling on wholesale, then you understand what your profit margin is like up front.
And then you've got upsell opportunities in there as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
So then that's
a good formula.
That's just icing on the cake.
Cool.
So that was a little pivot.
Yeah.
So
But to
back
recap,
to spring.
spring programs, it's coming up,
Separation.
it's happening now,
Yeah,
so
that's
you have
true.
a chance to do this. Right now, we're early January
Yep.
2019, and you have a chance to do this. We just finished the crazy fall season, winter seasons, kind of kicking into spring. So maybe reconsider what you're already doing now. If you're doing spec or if you're thinking about getting into spring portraits, I think Matt has some great tips here that you
Yep.
guys can
And
use.
we'll definitely have Marion's
Yeah.
his promotional materials available for y'all.
Yeah,
if anyone wants them.
Yeah, if you want those, you can get those for free. Marion gives these out. He even shows you how to set up for high key. He's got the white background spring promotion for vertical 3/4 photography, and he even gives you like the measurements of where your light should be,
Yep.
and where the student should sit, and different poses, things like that. So we can definitely provide that at no charge.
Yeah, let us know. Remember, separation, keep it simple, double up. Don't do spec.
Perfect.
Is that it?
That's it. I think that's
Let's
it.
sign out.
Great
Let's get out
job.
of here.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Y'all take
See you
care.
next time.